So this is really sad news. Dawson's Creek star James Van Der Beek is currently auctioning off a bunch of career memorabilia to his fans. 100% of the proceeds, unfortunately, are going to his cancer treatments.
Oh yeah, that's
because it appears that he is struggling to get enough money together for these costs for his healthcare. He was diagnosed with stage 3 colorectal cancer, I believe, last year. And since then, it appears that this has put him in a difficult position financially. And this is the extreme that he had to turn to. And people are finding it to be a really tragic story. And a lot of people are actually calling on Sony Pictures Television to step in and pay for his healthcare costs on his behalf instead of him being forced into this corner because of all the money that he made them being the star of Dawson's Creek. I don't know where I fall on that debate. I don't think that Sony is obligated to pay for his healthcare.
It would be fantastic promotion for them.
Yeah, I think it would be, of course, mutually beneficial if they did.
This is what, so this happens in wrestling. So WWE offers anyone that's ever wrestled for WWE free rehab. If they need to go to rehab, WWE will pay for it. Pretty much no questions asked. Disney should do that
for their child stars.
They should, honestly. And then you know, if you're anybody with half of a functioning brain, you understand that WWE doesn't do that because it gives them the warm fuzzies to help people.
No, they do that because
it's
you
good
need
PR.
to do a shitload of cocaine to get from show to show.
Back in the 80s,
they're playing. You know, they're doing multiple shows a week.
Sometimes multiple shows a day back in the day.
Yeah.
I listened to the Stevie Richards podcast, and he would detail what it was like on the road, and it sounded like a hell on earth to do it. Like, it's an industry that you could have only gotten into if you didn't know how awful it sounded until you actually were in it.
Says that he's now auctioning off the necklace that Dawson gifted Joey in the show for prom that is going up for anywhere from $26,000 to $52,000. And then his pilot episode outfit is also up for sale for nearly $4,000.
I'm honestly surprised he had it. They usually don't get to keep that many objects from when they work on these shows.
There's just a handful of items that are up on the website right now.
So make of it what you will. With an AI overview, and these things are almost never accurate, but it lists James Van Der Beek's net worth as between $4 and $8 million. You know, whether you believe those numbers, they're very rarely accurate, as people have pointed out multiple times.
You said some people were claiming he has multiple homes.
Yeah, there was a post on X from somebody that did a search and said his recent mansions include a Spanish-style Beverly Hills home with 36-acre ranch in Spicewood, Texas. It listed a bunch of stuff. Whether any of that is true, I have no idea. But the more interesting thing that I found about it was SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, offers, from what I remember, one of the best healthcare plans you can have. And that you'd think that would cover like a large majority of the cost. But the problem is like with any union like that, like you may lose access to it if you're not able to work. And there's only a certain length of time in which unable to work due to illness actually works. So it says if a SAG-AFTRA actor stops working, they don't immediately lose their health insurance, but coverage is tied to their earnings or work hours within a qualifying period. Eligibility is earned through covered earnings or days worked from SAG-AFTRA jobs, so union jobs, and during a 12-month base earnings period. To qualify for Plan 1 or 2 coverage, actors must meet certain income thresholds. As recently, the figure was $27,000 per year in covered earnings. I'm sure that's like almost nobody in actual SAG. Like, given how many people are in the union, I'm sure that's very, very few members even qualify for that. Once qualified, coverage lasts for one benefit period, usually 12 months. If the actor stops working and doesn't meet the income threshold for the next period, they'll lose eligibility. I asked if having an illness that prevents you from working may actually give you some type of loophole on that, and says if an actor gets sick or injured and can't work, they may be able to keep their health plan coverage through special extensions. So there's a disability extension if you're unable to work due to a medically certified illness or injury, which certainly this would qualify. You can apply for a disability extension of coverage. You must have been covered under the health plan when you became disabled. A doctor must certify that you are totally disabled and unable to work in your occupation. The extension can last up to 12 months depending on your situation. You generally need to file a claim for disability benefits, for example, through the SAG pension plan, Social Security, or another official program. So if it's already been a year,
yes,
it's possible that he's going to be well past that period and going out of pocket.
Yeah, he said, I've been storing these treasures for years, waiting for the right time to do something with them. And with all of the recent unexpected twists and turns life has presented recently, it's clear that the time is now. While I have some nostalgia tugging at me as I part with these items, it feels good to be able to offer them through Prop Store's auction to share with those who have supported my work over the years. It's especially sad because he has a big, beautiful family.
He has like 5 kids or 6 kids.
Married father of 6.
Wow.
He appears to be remaining in good spirits just from me taking a look at his social media presence in recent days. But one tweet said, "This is insanity. Sony Pictures Television should cover these costs. I realize many Americans are put in this position every year, but many Americans also don't headline a show that has produced many millions in revenue after it aired." And another person pointed out the fact that the show he was on was syndicated and aired to tens of millions of homes worldwide. And
so
another one
cutoff?
said, "It's naive of me to think that the network that vastly financially benefited from Dawson's Creek popularity in the 90s would help out their main star who's dying of cancer. Remember the show that spoke to a generation. Without James, there's no Dawson. He made your network at the CW at Warner Brothers."
So, okay. Likely very few people who were a part of that production team at the corporate level are still there, if any, are still there. What's the threshold? Is it only the star? Does second build get the same right?
It raises questions about like if you start with just one star, does that expand to everyone else? And like where do you have to start saying no?
Yes.
You know?
And then if they do, approve for the star, is it like, then people are gonna be like, oh, so because he made you money, you'll do it. They will use any excuse to bully you into doing this continually. But pragmatically speaking, there is a fantastic marketing opportunity to take care of his coverage here and turn it into content for your, whether it's for Sony's YouTube page or anything. Like, you could turn this into really, really good publicity for your brand.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Andy Signor, weighed in saying, "If James Vanderbeek is selling memorabilia to afford cancer treatment, imagine what most Americans face. Our healthcare system is broken, and after the latest shutdown, it'll only get worse. But sure, Trump and the billionaires are truly making America something again."
That's kind of stupid. Most Americans have health insurance through their employment, right? Like, now granted, there's going to be questions about whether or not they can keep keep going to work if they have something like this, and whether they're going to be able to keep their insurance. But the idea that, most Americans don't have health insurance through their employer, that's just wrong. That's where most people get it. So if you're employed, most people that are employed have health insurance. It's actually not a majority of the country that doesn't have health insurance. It's that people that have that. It's that the people that don't have health insurance through their employer have to pay exorbitantly for it, and there are a lot of people that can't afford that. That's the problem with our health coverage in the United States. It's not that you can't get access to it, because most Americans do have health insurance.
But they're pointing to James Vanderbeek as one of those exceptions.
Because he's a contractor, or he doesn't work. Actors, musicians, and I'm among them, obviously. Like people that contract or that get 1099s. You're not employed, so you don't end up getting the health insurance through your employer.
Well, he gets it through the union.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
So that has nothing to do with Trump.
If he qualifies, which it appears he doesn't.
Yeah.
Since he's been out of work for at least a year at this point. Another one said, "It's absolutely ridiculous that James Vanderbeek has to auction off memorabilia to pay for his cancer treatment. This is 2025, not the dark ages. Yet here we are with a broken healthcare system, leaving even celebrities scrambling. The U.S. insurance monopoly is a disgrace."
People didn't have the option of getting health care for cancer in the dark ages, guys.
Also, look, the healthcare companies were very much in favor of the Affordable Care Act, if I remember correctly back then. Yeah, because it allowed them to to start charging exorbitant prices.
Yeah.
But I understand why people see stories like this and thinking purely with their emotional reaction are radicalized and are in favor at that point of universal health care. I understand why people feel that way. I don't understand why people idolize Luigi, but I'm sure that stories like this that tug at the heartstrings have something to do with it.
Yeah. My hope would be that Sony sees the wisdom in taking care of this as something that they can benefit from. It shouldn't be because they want to feel good about themselves because it's a company. It can't feel good about itself, but if they can make some inroads with the public.
Yeah. I think it would be a good publicity move.
I saw a tweet earlier of Billie Eilish, like, basically poking at Elon Musk online, calling him lame because
Why?
he's an
idiot.
Because he's a billionaire.
What an idiot.
She called him lame?
Yeah, here, I'll pull it up here. I still have it. Because I tweeted about it.
He should, like, give his money
That's
away.
what, yeah, she's
he
like,
has, like, more money than all of us.
Give Billie Eilish a rocket and tell her to do something useful with it. Here you go. Here's
She
a
called
fucking
him
rocket,
a
you
pathetic. She called him an effing pathetic. Hold on, I'll put it up on screen because I can't actually say those words.
Effing pathetic what?
P word, B word.
Oh.
I don't want to cuss in front of the children.
All the children who are watching
the show. Yeah.
Well, that's to be expected from her.
Because what he should be doing with his money is ending world hunger, saving endangered species.
He literally said, "Look, World Health Organization, come up with a plan and send me the plan. If you send me a plan that will actually work, I'll do it." They never did, because solving world hunger isn't something that you can do. People are so stupid.
Elon should just, like, buy us all Chipotle.
You know, if you just pay if you pay money that you have, then, like, the world will become heaven on earth, and then nobody will be sad.
He could, like, give everyone a Chipotle gift card.
Idiots.
Well, why is she
so
why is she a millionaire? She should give away her money.
Yeah,
she should
that's
live in,
too much
in a
money.
one-bedroom apartment.
She has too much money. Billie Eilish, give away your money. You have more money than me. Give it to me.
So stupid. So dumb.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.